There are three major types of rocks except. Nice selection. Mantle rocks is the correct and valid answer. The crust under continents is -K deep. Perfect. 32 is the correct choice. Which part of the crust has 5 km thickness? Strong choice. Ocean bed is the right answer. Which type of rock often contains fossils? Well done. Sedimentary is the right choice. Which layer has a radius of about 3,500 km? Nice work. You chose outer core, and it is correct. Mantle extends up to the depth of -km. Correct, 2,900 is the right answer. Which rock is the molten magma made up of? Nicely done. Igneous is a solid answer. Where is the deepest mine? How much it is? Clear logic. Your choice, South Africa equal to 4 calibers, is sound and 100% true. Dash is composed of the heaviest materials. You got it? Your choice core is right. Sedimentary rocks are made of deposed dash. Good job. Your answer, sediments, works well here. Formed by the rapid cooling of molten lava. Good thinking. Extrusive igneous rocks is the right answer. The Deccan Plateau is made up of a dash rock. Solid response. Basalt is a valid choice. Geography is the study of Earth's interior. Sharp thinking. Fels is the right choice. Where is the world's deepest mine located? Well picked. South Africa is the correct answer. How much deep is the mine of South Africa? Smart pick. 4 km is the correct choice. 2 parts of the mantle are dash and dash. Excellent. Both A and B is a brilliant choice. The average density of the Earth is about. Smart move. 4.5 per cubic cm is an accurate answer. The asthenosphere is part of which layer? Right again. Mantle is a valid answer. Dash have a definite chemical composition. You chose minerals, and it is correct. Fossils are found in which type of rocks? Excellent choice. Sedimentary rocks is the right answer. Sedimentum means dash and is a dash word. Great thinking. Settle down. Latin is the right choice. Thorny dash and scrubs grow in dry region. On track. Shrubs is the correct answer. Which layer of Earth has high temperature? Bravo. Inner core is the answer. The fossil fuels are found in dash rocks. Correct response. Sedimentary is the most accurate answer. Core is the innermost layer of the Earth. Great job. True is the accurate answer. After metamorphism, limestone changes into. Exactly. Marble makes sense, and it is right choice. The Earth, our homeland, is a dash planet. Valid point. Dynamic is true. Sedimentary rocks turned into a dash rock. You're right. Metamorphic rock is the correct answer. The average radius of the mantle is about. Well reasoned. 2,900 km is the correct choice. What is the other name for igneous rocks? Right choice. Primary rocks is the best answer. Mantle form %% of Earth's volume. Smart pick. 84 is the correct choice. How many stones are used in Pitho game? Strong choice. 7 stones is the right answer. Man mineral constituent in oceanic crust. Excellent choice. Simmer is the right answer.
Thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in area of.
Well done. Low rainfall is the right choice. Which of the following changes to marble? Nicely done. Limestone is a solid answer. The things present inside the earth are. Smart move. All the above is an accurate answer. Which rocks are made up of molten magma? Right again. Igneous rocks is a valid answer. They have a very fine-grained structure. Correct response. Extrusive igneous rocks is the most accurate answer. Dash is the thinnest layer of the earth. Excellent. Crust is a brilliant choice. Fossils fuel like coal are found in Dash. Nice selection. Sedimentary rock is the correct and valid answer. Which is the thinnest of all the layers? Correct. Crust is the right answer. The uppermost layer of the earth is Dash. You got it? Your choice crust is right. What is the depth of crust under oceans? Perfect. 5 km is the correct choice. How many layers are Earth divided into? Good job. Your answer 3 works well here. How deep is the crust on oceanic crust? Sharp thinking. 5 km is the right choice. Dash minerals are found oceanic masses. Great thinking. Silica and magnesium is the right choice. Clay changing to slate is an example of. Nice work. You chose metamorphic rock and it is correct. The Earth is about dash crore years old. Exactly. 460 makes sense and it is right choice. The Deccan Plateau is mainly made up of. You're right. Basalt rocks is the correct answer. Which area of the Earth is least dense? Solid response. Crust is a valid choice. An example of extrusive igneous rock is. Well picked. Basalt is the correct answer.
Sandstone is made up from which grains?
On track. Sand is the correct answer. Which rocks are known as primary rocks? Good thinking. Igneous rocks is the right answer. Dash rocks is also known as fire rocks. Right choice. Igneous is the best answer. Meaning of the Latin word ignis is dash. You chose fire, and it is correct. Which is the most solid layer of Earth? Great job. Crust is the accurate answer. There are how many realms of environment? Valid point. 4 is true. Which territory is made of basalt rocks? Bravo. Deccan Plateau is the answer. Rocks are made up of different minerals. Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. How many layers are there of the Earth? Clear logic. Your choice 3 is sound and 100% true.
The Deccan Plateau in India is made up of.
Solid response. Basalt is a valid choice.
What are the two types of igneous rocks?
Good thinking. Intrusive and extrusive is the right answer. The uppermost layer of Earth is called. Strong choice. Crust is the right answer.
Dash layer is present in molten stage.
Nice work. You chose mantle and it is correct.
The constituents of oceanic crust are.
You got it. Your choice silica, magnesium is right. How many kilometers down is the mantle? Correct, 29 Kav is the right answer. World Environment Day is celebrated on.
Smart move. 5 June is an accurate answer.
Which one of the rock contain fossils? Clear logic. Your choice sedimentary rock is sound and 100% true. Fossils are found in sedimentary rocks. Well done. True is the right choice. Depth of mantle layer of the Earth is. Great thinking. 2900 kilometers is the right choice.
Another name for sedimentary rocks is.
Correct response. Layered rocks is the most accurate answer.
Minerals have a definitely certain dash.
You're right. Both A and B is the correct answer. The oceanic crust is composed of dash. Right again, Seema is a valid answer. The Earth's mantle depth extend up to. Exactly. 2900 km makes sense and it is right choice. The mantle is mainly composed of dash. Perfect. Ferromagnesium silicates is the correct choice.
What is the word for semi-liquid form?
You chose viscous, and it is correct. The composition of continental crust. Nice selection. Silica plus alumina is the correct and valid answer.
Rock made of cooled magma is known as.
Right choice. Igneous rock is the best answer. Dash are also known as primary rocks. Well picked. Igneous is the correct answer. Slate and marble are the type of dash. Good job. Your answer metamorphic rock works well here. Magma solidifies to become dash rock. Nicely done. Igneous rock is a solid answer. Mantle is middle layer of the Earth. Smart pick. True is the correct choice. Igneous comes from which Latin word? Excellent choice. Igneous is the right answer. Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt. Bravo. True is the answer. Minerals have a definite or certain. Well reasoned. Both A and B is the correct choice. Sedimentary rocks are also called as. Great job. Stratified rocks is the accurate answer. Himalayas are made up of dash rocks. Valid point. Sedimentary is true. Name the hottest layer of the Earth. Excellent. Inner core is a brilliant choice. Dash rocks are called primary rocks. Sharp thinking. Igneous is the right choice. The biggest mine in the world is in. On track. South Africa is the correct answer.
The rocks that cool below are called.
Good thinking. Intrusive rocks is the right answer.
Christmas is celebrated in summer in.
Smart pick. Australia is the correct choice. Mantle, it lies between dash and dash.
Right again, core. Crust is a valid answer. There are dash major types of rocks.
Well picked. 3 is the correct answer.
Mantle is the thinnest of all layers.
Strong choice. False is the right answer. The continental crust is composed of. Smart move. Unlucky is an accurate answer.
Remains of dead plants and animals equal to.
Bravo. Fossils is the answer.
Fossils are the remains of dead dash.
Well done. Plants and animals is the right choice.
Which rocks are hard and non-porous?
You got it. Your choice, igneous, is right.
The crust forms -% of the earth.
Great job. 1% is the accurate answer. The molten rock materials are called.
Nicely done. Magma is a solid answer.
Crust is the thickest layer of earth.
Well reasoned. False is the correct choice.
It is made up of silica and alumina.
Exactly.
Continents make sense and it is right choice.
A thin layer of soil covers the dash.
Excellent choice. Lithosphere is the right answer.
Metamorphic rocks are also known as.
Right choice. Secondary rocks is the best answer.
What are the main elements of core?
Clear logic. Your choice, iron and nickel, is sound and 100% true.
What is the temperature in the core?
Perfect. 5,000–6,000 degrees Celsius is the correct choice.
Dash rock is found in Deccan Plateau.
Correct. Basalt is the right answer.
Basalt is an example of dash rocks.
On track. Igneous is the correct answer.
Aggregates of minerals are known as.
Solid response. Rocks is a valid choice.
Igneous is a dash word meaning dash.
You're right. Latin, fire is the correct answer.
A change in height changes the dash.
Good job. Your answer both A and B works well here.
The best quality iron ore is called.
Sharp thinking. Magnetite is the right choice.
What is the other name of the core?
Nice work. You chose barosphere and it is correct.
Good example of metamorphic rock is.
Excellent. Coal diamond is a brilliant choice.
Name the rock which contain fossils.
You chose sedimentary, and it is correct.
Dash is a mechanically formed rock.
Great thinking. Sandstone is the right choice.
What is the layer under the crust?
Nice selection. Mantle is the correct and valid answer.
Slate and marble is an example of.
Correct response. Metamorphic rocks is the most accurate answer.
How deep is the continental crust?
Valid point. 35 is true. How many types of rocks are there? Smart move. 3 is an accurate answer. The second layer is called as dash. Nice selection. Mantle is the correct and valid answer.
Which of them have larger crystals?
Well done. Intrusive rocks is the right choice. What is the uppermost layer called? Perfect. Crust is the correct choice.
What is the Latin term of igneous?
Sharp thinking. Fire is the right choice. Man mineral constituent in core is. On track. Love is the correct answer. Igneous is word of which language? Well picked. Latin is the correct answer.
How many layers of earth are there?
Excellent. 3 is a brilliant choice. The mantle is about dash km thick. Excellent choice. 29 is the right answer. The radius of the Earth is dash ekm. Well reasoned. 6371 is the correct choice.
The domain of water is referred to.
Nice work. You chose hydrosphere and it is correct.
The core has a radius about dash. 3500 coulombs is a solid answer.
Nickel and iron is jointly called. Exactly. Love makes sense and it is right choice. Landforms are found over the dash. Clear logic. Your choice continents is sound and 100% true. Sandstone is made from grains of. Great job. Sand is the accurate answer. Example for sedimentary rocks is. You're right. Sandstone is the correct answer. What are the 3 layers of Earth?
You got it? Your choice crust, mantle, core is right.
Greek word metamorphic means dash. You chose change of form, and it is correct. Dash rock are made with sediments. Right again. Sedimentary rock is a valid answer. What is the radius of inner core? Valid point. 3500 km is true. Which is a threat to environment? Right choice. Growing population is the best answer. The Earth's mantle is consist of. Good thinking. Magma is the right answer. The study of rocks is called dash. Strong choice. Petrology is the right answer. What is the total depth of crust? Correct. 35 km is the right answer. Core is having average density of. Great thinking. 13.0 per cubic cm is the right choice. Redford is made up of which stone? Correct response. Red sandstone is the most accurate answer. The 2 types of igneous rocks are. Smart pick. Extrusive and intrusive is the correct choice. Dash lies between crust and core. Good job. Your answer mantle works well here.
Rocks which contain fossils are.
Solid response. Sedimentary rocks is a valid choice. The Taj Mahal is made up of dash. Bravo. White marble is the answer. The rocks formed by molten magma. Bravo. Igneous is the answer. Was India a part of World War II? Valid point.
False is true.
Rocks are made of different dash.
You're right. Minerals is the correct answer.
Mantle extends up to a depth of. Great job, 2,900 kilometers is the accurate answer. What was the ACT protest in 1991? Excellent choice. Coastal zone regulation is the right answer.
Igneous rocks are made from dash.
You got it. Your choice lava is right. Which of the following is biotic? Solid response. Plants is a valid choice.
Dash turn into metamorphic rocks.
Good thinking. Both A and B is the right answer. Igneous rocks are good source of. Right again. Metallic mineral is a valid answer.
In which rock fossils are found?
Right choice. Sedimentary is the best answer.
Another name for igneous rock is?
You chose primary rocks. And it is correct. The meaning of sedimentary means strong choice. Settle down is the right answer. Dash is made up of red sandstone. Clear logic. Your choice red fort is sound and 100% true. What is the radius of the Earth? Well done. 6371 Kev is the right choice. Sandstone is an example of dash. Nice selection. Sedimentary rocks is the correct and valid answer. Earth is made up of dash layers. Well reasoned. Concentric is the correct choice. Which rock is the hardest rock? Perfect. Metamorphic is the correct choice.
Another name for primary rocks.
Excellent. Igneous rocks is a brilliant choice.
Minerals are found in food like.
On track. Spinach milk is the correct answer. The depth of mantle is 2,900 km. Great thinking. True is the right choice. Igneous rocks are also known as. Correct. Primary rocks is the right answer.
Marble is a form of which rock?
Correct response. Metamorphic rocks is the most accurate answer.
When was the midday meal made?
Exactly. 2001 makes sense and it is right choice.
Where does the lava comes from?
Good job. Your answer interior of Earth works well here. An example of intrusive rock is. Nicely done. Granite is a solid answer.
What is the core also known as?
Smart move. Love is an accurate answer.
The exact shape of the Earth is.
Well picked. Geoid is the correct answer. The mantle extends up to dash. Nice work. You chose 2,900 telenomas and it is correct. Where was the deepest mine done? Sharp thinking. Africa is the right choice. What is the meaning of igneous? Smart pick. Fire is the correct choice.
What does igneous mean in Latin?
On track. Fire is the correct answer. The chemical name for iron is? Strong choice. Phi-ferrous is the right answer. The core has a radius of about. Well done. 3,500 km is the right choice. Pumice is a type of dash rock. Nice work. You chose igneous and it is correct.
What are the two types of crust?
Well reasoned. Continental and oceanic is the correct choice. The lower mantle is made up of. You chose molten material, and it is correct, which is not properly matched. Nice selection. Core, 5,000 km is the correct and valid answer. What forms the oceanic crust? Bravo. Silica and magnesium is the answer.
Cell extends as far as 35 km.
Great job. True is the accurate answer.
Mantle makes how much percent?
Good job. Your answer 84 works well here. Abiotic environment includes. Valid point. Land is true. Primary rock is also known as. Solid response. Igneous rock is a valid choice.
The dash crust is called seal.
Correct. Continental is the right answer.
Seven stones is also known as.
Right again. Pitho is a valid answer. Steppe grassland is found in. Exactly. Central Asia makes sense and it is right choice. Marble is a type of dash rock. Excellent choice. Metamorphic is the right answer. The layer that supports life. Good thinking. Crust is the right answer. What is the thickness of core? Right choice. 3,500 kilometers is the best answer.
Core temperature lies between.
Nicely done. 2,200 and 5,000 is a solid answer. What are the three types of rocks? Excellent. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic is a brilliant choice. Red Fort is made up of dash. Correct response. Red sandstone is the most accurate answer. Deccan Plateau is not made of. You're right. Sedimentary is the correct answer. What is the one type of rocks? Great thinking. Igneous is the right choice. The three types of rocks are. Smart move. Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic is an accurate answer. Igneous rocks are made when? Clear logic. Your choice. The molten magma cools is sound and 100% true. The innermost layer of Earth. You got it? Your choice core is right. The inner core is made up of. Sharp thinking. Iron and nickel is the right choice. The core is also called dash. Smart pick. Love is the correct choice. Is Kanta treated unequally? Well picked. No is the correct answer. The earth crust made up of. Perfect. Rocks is the correct choice. Granite is a plutonic rock. Correct. Yes is the right answer. Just beneath the crust lies. Strong choice. Mantle is the right answer. Good source of fossil fuels. Perfect. Sedimentary is the correct choice. Igneous rocks in Latin word. Correct response. Fire is the most accurate answer. Oceanic crust is made up of.
Excellent. Simmer is a brilliant choice.
The meaning of igneous rock.
Bravo! Latin fire is the answer.
Sandstone is made from dash. Well done. Grains of sand is the right choice, which is not a type of rock.
Well picked. Iron is the correct answer. Limestone changes into dash. Sharp thinking. Marble is the right choice. Most widely available rocks. Exactly. Sedimentary makes sense, and it is right choice. The last layer is known as. Well reasoned. Core is the correct choice. Rock salt is an example of. Right again? Chemically deposited sedimentary rock is a valid answer. What is Taj Mahal made of? Nice selection. White marble is the correct and valid answer. Which one is called taiga? Nice work. You chose coniferous and it is correct. The earth has dash layers. Valid point. 3 is true. In the word knife defines. On track. Nickel is the correct answer. The core mainly made up of. You got it. Your choice, love, is right. A sal is a combination of. Great job. Silica and alumina is the accurate answer. What is the Earth's radius? 6371 is an accurate answer. Choose an organic mineral. Clear logic. Your choice call is sound and 100% true. The thickness of mantle is. Good job. Your answer 2900 quinems works well here. The outer core is made of. Great thinking. Iron and nickel is the right choice. Crust is also called dash. Excellent choice. Lithosphere is the right answer. Fossils are found in dash. Smart pick. Sedimentary rock is the correct choice. Granite is an example of. Solid response. Igneous rocks is a valid choice. What is Red Fort made of? You chose sandstone, and it is correct. Sandstone turns into dash. Good thinking. Quartzite is the right answer. What is Seoul made up of? You're right. Alumina and silica is the correct answer. Uppermost layer of Earth. Right choice. Crust is the best answer. Pumice is an example of. Nicely done. Igneous rocks is a solid answer. It lies below the crust. Nice work. You chose mantle and it is correct. The innermost layer is. Nicely done. Core is a solid answer. Taj Mahal is made up of. Well done. Marble is the right choice. Inward sile. You're right. Aluminium is the correct answer. The radius of the Earth? You got it. Your choice 6371 km is right. What are primary rocks? Well picked. Igneous rocks is the correct answer. Dash is found in mantle. Great job. Magma is the accurate answer. Sandstone is made up of. Solid response. Grain of sand is a valid choice. Taj Mahal is built with. Bravo. Marble stone is the answer. Rocks are used to make. Great thinking. Sculptures is the right choice. The deepest mine is in. Good job. Your answer South Africa works well here. Earth is a dash planet.
Correct response. Unique is the most accurate answer.
The word "ness" means. Smart move. Fire is an accurate answer.
The radius of Earth is?
Right choice. 6371 cobs is the best answer. What is thickest layer? On track. Crust is the correct answer. Metal is dash chem thick.
Good thinking. 2900 is the right answer.
Core is also known as. Valid point. Barysphere is true. The hardest mineral is. Nice selection. Diamond is the correct and valid answer.
Igneous rocks are of?
Excellent choice. 2 types is the right answer. Latin word of igneous. Correct. Igneous is the right answer. The uppermost layer equal to? Right again. Crust is a valid answer. What is knife made of? Sharp thinking. Nickel and ferrous is the right choice.
What is crust made of?
Perfect. Different types of rock is the correct choice. Minerals are used in? Exactly. All of these make sense and it is right choice. How is magma created? Strong choice. By eruption of volcanoes is the right answer. Full form of knife is?
You chose nickel and iron, and it is correct.
A flat area or land? Well reasoned. Plain is the correct choice. Mant extends up to. Clear logic. Your choice 2900 Quemes is sound and 100% true.
Slate is formed from?
Excellent. Clay is a brilliant choice.
Rocks are made up of?
Smart pick. Minerals is the correct choice. Red fort is made of? Valid point. Red sandstones is true. Pumice is a type of? Great thinking. Igneous rock is the right choice. Lithosphere is dash. Well done. Crust is the right choice. Layers of the earth. Exactly. Crust, mantle and core make sense and it is right choice.
Core is made up of?
Great job. Love is the accurate answer.
Metamorphose means?
Nice work. You chose change of form and it is correct. Enzima define yes? Perfect. Silica is the correct choice.
Fossil is found in?
Right choice. Sedimentary rock is the best answer. Sedimentary means?
You got it? Your choice settle down is right?
Metamorphic means?
Correct response. Change in form is the most accurate answer.
Example of mineral. Bravo. Calcium is the answer. Our Earth is like? Good job. Your answer onion works well here. Core is layer of? Excellent choice. Earth is the right answer. Magma is found in? You're right. Mantle is the correct answer. Rocks are used in? Well reasoned. All of these is the correct choice. Full form of Xiao. Well picked. Silica and alumina is the correct answer. Clay changes into smart pick. Slate is the correct choice.
Environa means
Correct. Neighborhood is the right answer.
meaning of Ignis.
Sharp thinking. Fire is the right choice.
Weathering dash.
On track. Breeks, it is the correct answer. Environor is a strong choice. French word is the right answer. Simmer stands for you chose silica and magnesium, and it is correct. Fossils are in. Good thinking. Igneous rock is the right answer. Lithosphere is smart move. Crust is an accurate answer.
What is knife?
Excellent. Core is a brilliant choice.
Ignis means nicely done. Fire is a solid answer.
Basalt forms. Nice selection. Schist is the correct and valid answer. Marble is a clear logic. Your choice sedimentary rock is sound and 100% true. Dam means right again. Silica and alumina is a valid answer.
Knife is
Solid response. Nickel and ferrous is a valid choice.
how you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Great thinking. Contact Narayan Chengder on Facebook is the right choice.